Welcome to K-State Game Day. It is a chilly and windy night here in the Little Apple for some K-State football as they get ready to take on the Iowa State Cyclones. I'm Bridget Howard, joined by former Wildcats Ian Campbell and Travis Tannehill. Guys, for those of you who are worried, Brian Smoller is doing just fine. He is with the women's basketball team in the Bahamas. So, Brian, we hope you are enjoying the warm weather. We hope you also brought some sunscreen for that bald head of yours. Ian, you can relate to that.
Yeah, I'm imagining Brian in a bucket hat right now and maybe a deep V-neck and some short shorts. Yeah, I think it's going to be a glossy, pale look.
Unbuttoned Hawaiian
Yes.
shirt.
Yeah, that works too.
T's and P's to Smoller, man.
Yeah,
T's and P's.
I like it.
All right, well, it is a chilly day here, but nonetheless a special day. It is senior day for 27 of K-State's student athletes. And guys, talk to me a little bit. I mean, what's going through your head as you come out there on the field for senior day? I mean, not only as a senior, but also as a freshman, sophomore, junior who are lining up next to these guys.
I know, when I played, senior night was obviously special, and obviously it can go two ways. You can win the game or lose the game, and that kind of puts a sour note in your mouth if you don't find a way to win that game. As an underclassman, though, you feel a lot of respect, remorse that you're losing some of your friends and your teammates who are obviously moving on to greener pastures. So it's an exciting time for those underclassmen as they get to take that baton and be seniors next year or juniors next year and upperclassmen and move throughout this program and have success. So underclassmen, it's exciting. Seniors, it's obviously a little sad, but it feels a lot better if you can get a win.
Yep, I agree completely with that. It's a bittersweet moment. I think it's also important for these seniors to be able to, you have to kind of harness and control that emotion. I think sometimes it can get away from you. I've seen that happen. I saw a lot of senior days, including my own, and sometimes it's hard for guys to reel it in. And like Travis said, as the young guys, it's very important to treat this game with reverence and respect as the guys that are leaving, to know how much they've put into this program and how much effort and man hours, to go treat that like you would want anyone to go out there and give everything when it is your last game, because eventually it will be their last game as well. So it's an emotional game, and hopefully everybody shows up in this cold weather for these Wildcat seniors.
Now, kind of going back, I think we can all agree that Texas Tech game got our heart rates going a little bit at some points. We came out with the win, which was extremely important, but what were your guys' main positives coming out of that game?
I would say one of my main positives is, the win in itself was a big deal for me, but Coach Kleiman got asked after the game, he's like, are you very happy with this win? And he kind of laughed about it. I was like, you know how hard it is to win anywhere on the road in the Big 12? It's tough everywhere except for Lawrence, right? So, sorry, I got to take my shots when I can get them. So I was really pleased with the ability to finish. Yeah, we only won by 3 points, but the collective effort, Texas Tech is a better team than I think their record shows, and to go out there and get a win on the road is a big deal.
Yeah, similarly, they just found a way to win, and they won ugly. Don't tell Coach Kleiman that, but in my opinion, they won ugly. And if you're this Kansas State team, that's how you have to win some ball games. You're going to have 1, 2, 3 of those a year where you don't come out and play your best football, and you still got to, grit it out and just play a nice, ugly football game and find a way to win a close matchup. So that's what they did, and also twofold special teams was exceptional as well. Finding a score on special teams, we're getting spoiled, but I don't think you realize how few teams in the country are able to put up special teams points consistently like this Kansas State team does.
Right, and now that win against Tech improved their bowl stock, but it also ensured Kleiman the best record of any first-year coach in the Big 12. So with that being said, today they could get their 8th win of the season. They've got 7 wins right now. What big of a difference, is it getting that 8 wins? How important is that, or what's the difference in, kind of defining that as a successful season?
From an emotional standpoint, 7 wins is pretty darn close to 500, and that's not a very good season. So when you can get up into that 8 and obviously win a bowl game, you're at 9. I don't care if you're in your first year or your 10th year. If you can win 10 or 9 ball games, that's a successful season. So find a way to win this one, get a good matchup in the bowl game, win that one. You're sitting at 9 wins. First year, 10th year coach, doesn't matter. That's an exceptional season for Coach Kleiman.
I agree on everything you said there, Travis. I think the one thing that the K-State Wildcats, as fans, we've been a little spoiled with is how many 9, 10 plus season or 10-win seasons we've had collectively in the tenure in the last 25, 30 years, that we're able to say 7 wins isn't very good, but it is. I was really pleased with that. We know what we had last year for them to go ahead and come back in on year 1 and do better than that right off the bat. I think that bodes well for the future, and we still got two more games for sure to go get some more done.
Yeah, and I think let's not forget, Nebraska missing out again this year. Missouri just fired their coach. We are spoiled in the sense of Kansas State. We've made bowl games all but last year, probably in the last, for sure a decade. So we've gotten a little bit spoiled, and this coaching staff's finding a way to keeping us spoiled, which isn't, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's a good problem.
Now, kind of as K-State gets ready to focus on Iowa State tonight, what do you see as the bigger concern, their passing game with Brock Purdy or their run game?
I got to go with the passing game there. I feel pretty confident with our pass rush skills and the way our defense has performed just in general over the last several games. I thought we've done really well. Our secondary has come up and played well. I've been really impressed with Goolsby and the collective, and I think obviously I'm going to talk about my man Wyatt Hubert and the Mullet. These guys have been going out there and getting after the guy, but he's mobile. This is the guy you don't want to play against because he creates so much with his feet. He gets second looks, and he's a pretty creative guy. I've played against guys like that, and they're really not that much fun to play against.
Yeah, I agree with you. Brock Purdy, I think, is an exceptional talent in the Big 12 here. So over 3,500 yards passing this year. He's doing an exceptional job for this team. So it's really this team, they're very well balanced. They're about 55% pass when it comes to pass attempts versus rushes. So this Iowa State team does an exceptional job of being balanced, but really the efficiency for Brock Purdy. And let's not forget, only a sophomore, had a pretty good season last year, elevated that again this year. It's kind of like our Skylar Thompson, where we're going to have Skylar for another year, and they're going to be having Brock Purdy as a junior and a senior with a lot of talent and a lot of ball games under his belt, and they're going to be very, very dangerous in the years to come.
Now, K-State's defense is going to have to be on their A game today, whether it's with the passing game or the run game. But speaking of defense, we'll hear from senior Reggie Walker coming up, a huge part of K-State's defensive group on his career at K-State and this season after the break.
Welcome to the Big 12, a place marked by unmistakable commitment, uncompromising values, and unrivaled spirit. A place where champions are crowned the right way in a conference with no divisions, where everyone plays everyone and every game matters. Welcome to the Big 12, a conference unlike all others, where possibilities are unlimited, competition is unsurpassed, and true potential is unleashed.
Couldn't ask for a better group of guys who play the game the right way, prepare the right way, and play to go to Omaha. That's going to be our goal every day. That's the way we recruit. That's the way we prepare our guys in our program every day, and that's what we preach.
Swing and a miss, ball game over. Pushing it towards the wall, and it's gone! He has done it again! Cam Thompson! A long drive by Sperlin, and it's gone! A 3-run home run!
And education is life itself. This is your time. So go out and make it your own.
Wildcat fans, be in Bramlage Saturday, December 7th as Coach Weber and your K-State men's basketball team hosts Marquette. Tickets for this Big 12 Big East matchup start at less than $20 with a Wildcat 4-pack. And don't forget to wear white as we white out Bramlage. Reserve your seat today by visiting kstatesports.com or calling 1-800-221-CATS. Cheer on your Wildcats against the Marquette Golden Eagles Saturday, December 7th. Go Cats!
Hey kids, do you love K-State? Do you live to wear purple? Then fuel your love for the Cats by signing up for the Junior Wildcats Club. For as low as $20, receive free admission to all K-State volleyball, soccer, women's basketball, and baseball home games. No money? No problem. Just ask your parents to pay. Thanks, Mom and Dad. You can also attend exclusive pregame events and receive sweet K-State gear. Free admission, prizes. You won't find this deal anywhere else. Visit our website and become an official Junior Wildcat today. Cats, baby!
Welcome back to K-State Game Day. I'm Bridget Howard, joined by Ian Campbell and Travis Tannehill. As we talked about earlier, today is Senior Day, a very special day for the 27 seniors on this K-State team, one of them being Reggie Walker. Guys, here's a closer look at the senior defensive end for the Wildcats.
There's the snap. Diggy is back to throw under some pressure and sacked. He's sacked back at the 47 by Reggie Walker. Reggie Walker with a big-time play, and how about that? His first sack of the year.
But he's on the record books, getting close to top 10.
I mean, I feel like every year, every day you learn something new, you know, even if it's like my DNs, man, you know, they help me get through a lot. And like you could just tell, like, whenever you're rubbing off on somebody because they end up saying something that you told before, you know, when you teach somebody, you know, you learn more than what you think.
There's the snap. Hurts fakes, runs to the right side, and what a play by the Wildcats to club him down at the 21.
Being a senior really, you know, it hits me every now and then, but like, every time like a young kid asks for something, you know, I try to, you know, go out my way to make sure, you know, I show them the ropes, you know, put them under my wing and like got them.
Let's get it! Cats on 3, 1, 2, 3, cats!
Coach Wyatt is a big help, you know, I'm really glad I got to spend this year with him. He's somebody that I really need, you know, he's been in all different places, he knows a lot of stuff, and he tells me, you know, my talent, what I can do, and he really teaches me a lot about the game. We really needed that win, so I mean, once we got back on track, and you know, it really hit everybody like, man, we're a really better team than what we've been showing, and I think we back on track. Man, my favorite memory probably my redshirt sophomore year, actually when we played Tech against Mahomes, and it was just so much going on, and like those seniors and stuff like that, like took me under their wings, and like it was just a moment I'll never forget, because like at that moment I knew like this is the right place for me to be. I just want to leave a legacy that, like, you know, I was more than just a student athlete, man. I was like somebody, you know, a great guy, a great man. Like I grew into a man, like coming from Louisiana up to Manhattan, Kansas. Like my life has grown so much, and I want people to know. It's hard to think about it, but it's gonna be pretty emotional. You know, I might shed some tears because I am gonna miss this place. You know, 5 years, you know, in a place like this. You know, man, happiness, man, it's big. You know, I love this place.
An emotional day, no doubt, for these seniors, and kind of a day for them to reflect on their careers here at K-State. But let's do a little reflecting ourselves. You know, the stats may not be the same as past great D lines, but man-to-man, these players are very consistent and do a really great job. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, this front four for me, I think when I'm looking at them top to bottom, Reggie's probably the hardest one for me to place of who I think he plays like, at least in my tenure and even in the last couple of years, because he has a little bit of a linebacker feel and build to him. Dyshawn's pretty easy for me because he's wearing 99, so he's got some Steve Klein-esque moves. Wyatt Hubert, he is a more physically gifted player than I was, but his style of play, his reaction points are similar to mine. If I can pat myself on the back there, the guy's a lot of fun to watch, but he does remind me, and I'll probably steal from your timeline there, he reminds me of Ryan Mueller a lot. And, you know, I've been really happy with the way Mitty's played as well.
Yeah, all those guys, I'm going to go back to my senior year, 2012. I mean, we had a pretty solid front four. Ryan Mueller was a young sophomore playing. Meshach Williams, Violet Tui, guys forget about that name. Adam Davis, all those guys. None of them set records. None of them had 10-year careers in the NFL or were all Americans. But they did their job. They played so hard. They were physical and they got a little bit better every day. A couple of those guys were good JUCO guys that came in and we fit them in. And without a couple of JUCO guys getting fit in, I mean, Kansas State doesn't win the Big 12 championship that year. So that defensive line is so important. And you mentioned the Ryan Mueller comparison, but I mean, it's got to be Kyle Ball. Same number, same everything. I mean, they look a lot alike out there. And Reggie Walker and Wyatt Hubert, I mean, Reggie has to be Wyatt's best friend, because if you can have one good defensive end, and that's pretty easy to double team, pretty easy to focus on. But when you got two guys, you got to play honest. That opens it up for everyone else.
How do you think Jordan Mitty and Trey Deshawn make Wyatt Hubert and Reggie Walker better?
I mean, just keeping that offensive line honest. I mean, you only got 5 offensive linemen and 4 defensive linemen, so you can only have one double team unless you want to keep it back in or you know, designate a tight end to block. So just from a numbers standpoint, I mean, all those guys playing hard, they have the skill set to get to the quarterback, which helps everyone out.
Yeah, and being a space eater on the inside, causing a double team and the right amount of penetration alone, being a problem to just not know that you're so slow off the ball that they can focus on the outside threats. And clearly the Reggie and Wyatt are outside threats, and Ball is as well, so that they have to draw that attention. So they get one-on-one matchups on the outside. you know, somebody's got to be able to hit home and win. That's their job, right, is to be able to eat that space up, cause those problems. And I'm really impressed with Hubert's hand movement. The guy has got very violent hands for a young player, and you're just going to see him get better as long as they could keep funneling guys in on the inside and outside, so it's not a one-stop shop where they're like, we just got to double team this guy all day and it's no problem. So I think you'll just see that get a little bit better with time, and hopefully it's more of a reload and not just a, you know, 2-year behind gap.
All right, guys, well, coming up next, we've got our Players to Watch segment and much more here as we get ready for kickoff between K-State and Iowa State.
Corn from 25. Yes, you gotta be kidding. Williams streaking to the bucket, scores. Reverse layup, crawls in. Ranky left all alone. You can't do that.
Beard with 2 on the shot clock. Why not? Just on Beard.
All of a sudden, the seas part.
Kansas State with a dominating performance.
Welcome to the Big 12, a place unequaled in spirit, where back-to-back Heisman Trophy winners speak to undeniable power, while a lack of divisions and the most challenging path to a championship demand unrelenting commitment. Welcome to the Big 12, a conference unlike all others, where pride is unlimited, competition is unsurpassed, and champions are unleashed.
Our community is more than a group of people. It's a place where the golden rule becomes the purple rule. It's recognizing the value of every individual and affirming the importance of diversity. It's freedom to have a different perspective. It's honesty underscored with understanding. It's becoming a piece of the greater good. We are many, we are one. Most of all, we are family. What defines the K-State community? Compassion, honesty, you.
Hey kids, do you love K-State? Do you live to wear purple? Then fuel your love for the Cats by signing up for the Junior Wildcats Club. For as low as $20, receive free admission to all K-State volleyball, soccer, women's basketball, and baseball home games. No money? No problem. Just ask your parents to pay. Thanks, Mom and Dad. You can also attend exclusive pregame events and receive sweet K-State gear. Free admission, prizes. You won't find this deal anywhere else. Visit our website and become an official Junior Wildcat today. Cats, baby!
Wildcat fans, be in Bramlage Saturday, December 7th as Coach Weber and your K-State men's basketball team hosts Marquette. Tickets for this Big 12 Big East matchup start at less than $20 with a Wildcat 4-pack. And don't forget to wear white as we white out Bramlage. Reserve your seat today by visiting kstatesports.com or calling 1-800-221-CATS. Cheer on your Wildcats against the Marquette Golden Eagles Saturday, December 7th. Go Cats!
Back on K-State Game Day here at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Bridget Howard, Ian Campbell, and Travis Tannehill here with you guys. We see Texas Tech there getting ready to take the field. Iowa State, sorry guys, I'm thinking about last week. All right, guys, let's
the shiny
helmets. I see red. We're thinking of last week. All right, guys, let's dive right into your players to watch this week. Ian, who you got?
So I've got Youngblood. I think this guy is an extremely special player. I had a talk with Colin Klein here a couple weeks ago, and I know he's not listening to this, so I don't expect his head to get too big on this, but they are really high up on this kid. He has got a lot of skill sets, and you're going to keep seeing this guy get more and more opportunities because he has that next level gear, and his field vision and his ability to follow blockers at his age is very impressive. He makes things on his own, but he's also patient enough to wait for the block, and I think that's special. It's not necessarily something that you can teach, and even this play right here, you're going to wait for it. He's going to slow up. He's going to wait for his guy. And then you still got to have the know-how to dip and slip there, and that's exactly what he did. I know they work on that now, but back in my day, they didn't teach that. So
Yeah, I didn't teach it. That was an exceptional run by him. He's having a great year, and super fun guy to watch. Special teams is being great. My young man to watch, Joaquin Gill. I mean, I think this wide receiver core is really still the biggest question mark for this team. And obviously, Dalton Schoen's going to be a staple and going to be a solid receiver for Kansas State. With Malik Knowles questionable again this week, I really think it's up to Malik to just find a way to make some plays, and he's done a nice job. He had one of his better games of the year last year, 2 catches for 70 yards. So find a way if Skyler can get him the ball a little more. He's got this athleticism, got the speed. Just find a way to get the ball in space and let players make plays.
Yeah, I think getting tough yards like that. I agree with Atchison, Kansas. It's where my old man's from. How about that? Yeah.
All right, and how important is it going to be, coming off Thanksgiving break, coming off a bye week, sometimes teams can start off slow. How important is it going to be for these guys to get started right off the bat today?
I mean, there's no margin for error. I mean, we saw Texas come out yesterday and put, they got 14 points put up on them pretty quick. I mean, this Kansas State team doesn't have the talent to give themselves a 14-point hole to dig out of. So they got to come out fast, but it is difficult. I mean, schedule was a little different. The class, no classes this week, so hopefully they spend a little more time in the film room and not playing video games. So hopefully they're prepared and juiced up, ready to go.
Yeah, I agree completely with all that, Travis. And at the same time, hopefully these guys are rested up enough, because this late in the year, those bumps, those bruises, the things that does hurt K-State is when you do have an injury, it's not an automatic reload with the next man up. Sometimes we have to build that character. Somebody has to play out of position, or they're a new guy, not really quite ready or quite confident to play. And for whatever reason it is, it doesn't matter how bad we're supposed to be at Iowa State, it's always a tight game. It's always a tight game. I always hated playing at Iowa State. It was like playing on cabbage out there. I did not like the field. And it's just a tough match. It's a great matchup. It's probably one of the more underrated rivalries, I think, in college football. And people who really enjoy good football should watch K-State versus Iowa State.
So we were talking about Travis and I before the game. Farmageddon. Farmageddon.
Physical ball game.
That is what this rivalry is called. All right, guys. Well, we will be right back after this break as we get ready for kickoff between Iowa State and K-State here in Manhattan.
for 25. Yes, you gotta be kidding me. Williams streaking to the bucket, scores. Reverse layup, crawls in. Ranky left all alone. You can't do that.
Beard with 2 on the shot clock. Why not? Just on Beard.
All of a sudden, the seas part.
Kansas State with a dominating performance.
Welcome to the Big 12, a place marked by unmistakable commitment, uncompromising values, and unrivaled spirit. A place where champions are crowned the right way, in a conference with no divisions, where everyone plays everyone and every game matters. Welcome to the Big 12, a conference unlike all others, where possibilities are unlimited, competition is unsurpassed, and true potential is unleashed.
The heart-pounding roar, a sea of purple, wielding twists and turns, a sincere smile and simple phrase. Legacies that span generations, blurring the line between fans and family. Believing we bleed a different color, foundations defined by a single stone. That special place you love full well. What makes traditions unforgettable? Loyalty. Purple. You.
Couldn't ask for a better group of guys who play the game the right way, prepare the right way, and play to go to Omaha. That's going to be our goal every day. That's the way we recruit. That's the way we prepare our guys in our program every day, and that's what we preach.
Swing and a miss, ball game over. Pushing it towards the wall, and it's gone! He has done it again! Cam Thompson! A long drive by Sperlin, and it's gone! A 3-run home run!
Hey kids, do you love K-State? Do you live to wear purple? Then fuel your love for the Cats by signing up for the Junior Wildcats Club. For as low as $20, receive free admission to all K-State volleyball, soccer, women's basketball, and baseball home games. No money? No problem. Just ask your parents to pay. Thanks, Mom and Dad. You can also attend exclusive pregame events and receive sweet K-State gear. Free admission, prizes. You won't find this deal anywhere else. Visit our website and become an official Junior Wildcat today. Cats, baby!
Back here on K-State Game Day, we're getting closer to kickoff, but before the break, we were talking about this Iowa State-K-State rivalry, as we all know to be Farmageddon. Tell me, what is your guys' experiences playing against Iowa State?
I mean,
Go ahead,
Farmageddon's obviously, it's a great rivalry. I mean, both these fan bases are very similar. They're passionate, they're blue collar, they're very proud of their ag schools and kind of what they stand for, which is just get up every day, work hard, and provide for your family and just do an exceptional job. So both these schools have a lot of pride from the farming and agricultural standpoint. From a game standpoint, I believe it was 2010 when the rivalry was played in Kansas City, which was a lot of fun. I see why they don't do it now, but it was a lot of fun to go to Kansas City and play on a neutral turf, and Emmanuel Lemur blocking the extra point there to win the game. And then I believe it was 4 years ago in 2015, Kansas State down by 7. Iowa State has the ball, and with a minute and a half left, so mathematically the game is over. Iowa State decides to run the ball for some crazy reason and fumbles, and gives Kansas State a chance to come back and win that ball game. So rivalries definitely, that's fun. Doesn't matter if I think if both these teams, if one team was undefeated and one team didn't have a win, they would find a way to make it a close ball game.
Yeah, low corn yields that year, huh? That's better for the wheat.
Yep.
Yeah, it is weird. And the Iowa State fans, if I'm going to compliment anybody else, is because they travel really well, just like K-State fans to Kansas City. And I know that there's a lot of people that actually miss that Farmageddon game, and I got to see some good games there as a spectator, and I enjoyed them.
And they drive the ticket prices up at the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, man.
Yes, they do.
That whole stadium is like 60% Iowa State fans. So don't let it go to their head. I don't want to give them too much props because I need those ticket prices to come down in Kansas City for the Big 12 men's basketball tournament.
We talked earlier kind of about how cold it is, how windy it is. There's 20, 25 mile an hour winds today. How is that going to impact Iowa State's passing game?
Well, I think it's going to impact them. Well, probably both teams pretty equally. I think right now we may even pass just a hair more than they do. So but I think I've got to give the edge on the stronger arms to Skyler, but probably a better wide receiver group if I'm being objective with Iowa State if I had to. And I'm being objective here, so don't take it too personal. But it will be an impact. But I think that these teams are used to it. It is Kansas. It's the Midwest. The wind it is what it is.
Yeah, both these teams are used to playing outside and doing a nice job. So I think the passing game, it'll probably affect it a little bit, but really I just hope the punting game. Hopefully we don't see any errors on Kansas State side, and if there is an error, hopefully it's on the Iowa State side.
Right.
Either a big return, a short punt, a 15, 20-yard punt from an Iowa State can really turn the game.
All right, well, let's get to our keys to victory. Travis, who do you got?
Keys to victory, we got to play with passion and then play with physicality, play with emotion and play with physicality. Both those things. We saw the video of the team running out. It looks like they had a lot of energy, so I don't think playing with emotion will be too much of an issue. And then play with physicality, with the wind, probably going to run the ball maybe a hair more both sides of the team. I think, as always, this game will be won in the trenches.
Nailed it as always, Travis. We could pretty much be interchanged. We always text each other.
We don't share notes.
All right,
what's yours? So I don't have the exact same things. Mine is turnovers, and the reason I say it's in general is on offense, we're trying to prevent turnovers, and on defense, we need to go out and get one or two. For whatever reason it is, it doesn't matter how much more we're favored with Iowa State. So it's always a close game. So number 2 is a non-offensive touchdown. K-State leads the nation since 1999 in non-offensive touchdowns. So if we can go get one extra point, one extra score and help the offense out, I think that bodes well for us because, like Travis said, we don't have any room for error right now, so we need to capitalize on any of theirs.
All right, real fast, let's get to our predictions. I am so excited I get to do this today. I've never gotten to do this. So
undefeated.
I'm undefeated, basically. I'm taking Brian's spot. I'm going Cats 27-24. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I do think it's going to be a really close game.
Cats 28-24. I'm going to price this right you on that one.
Cats 24-20, going to be a tight ball game. Not a whole lot of scoring. It's going to be hard to move the ball with this wind, but I think Cats come out with the edge of victory with 4.
All right, well, it should be a great night for some football. The Wildcats and Cyclones getting ready to kick off here in Manhattan for Senior Day. Pregame continues for those of you guys on Facebook for the last time this season. Thanks for joining us on K-State Game Day from Bridget Howard, Ian Campbell, and Travis Tannehill.